Let me first introduce our first speaker, who is President Ron Daniels. He is the 14th president of Hopkins. He's focused his leadership on several themes, and I'm most pleased that this includes community engagement and broadening community partnerships. Ron is a true friend to SOURCE. He provided 3 years of funding to develop some of our signature service learning programs, our SOURCE Service Scholars and our SOURCE Service Learning Faculty and Community Fellows program. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to welcome our friend, President Ron Daniels.
Well, good evening. It's really great to be here and on such an important, auspicious occasion. Mindy, you're tremendous. You know, when you think about these institutions, these programs that somehow evolved and flourished and have gathered so much recognition, have had such a significant impact, I think at times it's easy to overlook that at the start, it's very often just an individual with a glimmer of an idea. Someone who are really against the odds, has worked doggedly against the odds to really get support, encouragement, enthusiasm for that idea, and then to see it grow. And I just want, on behalf of all of us, before we go any further, just to salute you, to say, we are so lucky you're here. You are such a spectacular leader. And when we celebrate SOURCE, we celebrate a lot of people, but at core, we celebrate your mom. So. Over the last decade, I've been told that more than 7,600 students have contributed 205,000 hours of volunteer service to Baltimore organizations through SOURCE. And if you were to just express that in terms of what one person working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week would be doing if they did all of that, it would mean that individual would be working for 23 years of uninterrupted service, kind of a lot like what you've been doing for the last 10, Mindy. It is, as I said, an extraordinary feat that has made a tremendous difference to our city and to our students. You will know, of course, that we have been talking, as Mindy said a moment ago, all of us for a long time, and I have to say, particularly with this group, I know you haven't been just talking, you've been doing for a long time lots of different community engagement efforts for decades. It's very much in the DNA of this institution. But again, what's really nice for all the things we do to have this focal point in East Baltimore for our community engagement activities. 10 years after its founding, SOURCE stands as a key expression of our commitment to communities, tying together 3 Hopkins divisions, our schools of medicine, nursing, and public health, and creating direct links to the communities and community-based organizations, around us. And of course, our commitment to communities is not only institutional, it is also intensely, intensely personal. And it's here SOURCE once again stands as an exemplar, opening opportunities that have the potential to change the trajectories of people's lives within our city and indeed within our university. I really want to salute you, Mindy, for being an early and sometimes, again, quite lonely advocate for the value of service learning, thinking about how we can put academic knowledge to practical use. We often talk about the university as a great source of ideas, of energies, of moral intuitions, of data, all these things, but it's nice to be able to have very tangible ways of showing how we apply that. And again, SOURCE stands as the exemplar of that. Over the last 3 years, alone, Mindy and her team have helped to train 22 faculty fellows, 7 community fellows through the Service Learning Faculty and Community Fellows Program. These fellows teach at least a dozen courses in East Baltimore each year, focused on a range of topics from data analysis to injury prevention. And there's really a ripple effect to these programs. Through these courses, students work with the community under faculty supervision, helping to meet the higher level needs of community-based organizations. And in many cases, that rigorous hands-on experience helps students focus their future careers. So as much as we celebrate what the students do and have done while they've been here, I think it's just as important what they do afterwards, and again, how SOURCE will change trajectories, not just of the community organizations, but of the students themselves who participate. I just want to finally say, in so many ways, what you have done here, as tremendous as it is, has been so important for the university because it has opened up possibilities, models, pilots that we have shamelessly used through other parts of the university. There's nothing like ripping off a really good idea when it involves a community and trotting it out to all different parts of the university. Indeed, even at SICE in Washington, they've been really intrigued by Mindy's project and have sought to adopt some of the techniques into their program. So this is wonderful. I want to thank all of you for being here, the 100+ community partners who have worked with us, who have allowed us to work with you, to learn from you, and to make our community better. This is just a perfect partnership. We are so very, very proud of all that we have been able to do together. And again, to Mindy, thank you so much for your leadership. With that, I want to introduce a very special guest. And here I am delighted that the 49th mayor of Baltimore, Stephanie Rawlings Blake, who has been mayor for almost exactly half of Source Life and has served on city council for the other half, is here with us this evening. I just want to say something about Stephanie, because this is what's really great about our mayor. First of all, that she's here. Her schedule is unbelievably busy. We know we have very challenging times in our city right now. And it really says something, Stephanie, about your leadership, that with all that you've got going on, you still keep it all in balance and you bring that unflappable grace and perspective to your leadership. We really feel touched that you're with us this evening. I want to say something also about just the partnership that the city has forged with Hopkins in so many different areas. And the nice thing about Stephanie is that as all the years I've been here, whenever you've got an idea, you want to do something with the community, you want to do something with the city, no matter how crazy it may be, you phone Stephanie and you've always got a receptive audience and you've got a partner. It's been really one of my great fortunes that as I get to lead Johns Hopkins, I get to work with you as mayor, and really pleased, Stephanie, that you're with us this evening. Thank you so much. Stephanie Rawlings Blake.